With Wack 100 being good friends with Fat Joe, many have wondered how will Joe be portrayed in the Big Pun series? Will there be a conflict of interest or will it cause issues between Wack and Fat Joe? In this next clip from my recent Clubhouse with Wack, he said there's no justification for not giving Liza the money or blocking her. He doesn't care what Liza did and he even gives us an extreme example. Man, roll the clip.
And I will say this. It's no reason to justify, if this happened, shutting down on Pun's family when it comes to business, when it comes to what's owed to Pun contractually, which moves over to his wife and his children. I don't give a fuck what Liza did. I wouldn't give a fuck if she wrote Fat Joe diss songs every day of the week. That still would never justify shutting down on sending what's owed to Pun to the people that's supposed to be collected. Ain't nothing to justify that. I wouldn't give a fuck what she did. You run that man's money where it's supposed to go so they could do what they gotta do for his loved ones and his family and shit, bro.
Hey, Wack, let me ask you a question, bro. Because I know I believe from being in your room for almost 3 years now, I know that you say that you and Fat Joe super cool. So I want you to hear me clear on this, Wack. If this is the truth, man, because I believe that I heard actually that the reason why the story never went out was because Fat Joe and them was the ones that was blocking it. So check me out, Wack, because I'm finna get deep. If that was the case, Wack, and Fat Joe and them was blocking this from coming out, and Fat Joe with all the money allegedly that Fat Joe got, if that dude didn't take care of Pun's wife and them kids, man, while they was in the shelter, that's a problem, bro.
Well, we'll see that in the series.
But I guess what I'm asking is that from not being your good friend, Wack, do you look at Fat Joe any different? You know,
You gotta remember, I wasn't around Fat Joe with his dealings with Pun, his dealings with Liza, all that. So my dealings with Fat Joe, I'm gonna gauge that man and judge him based upon that. If he did deny him that, then I'm gonna look Joe in his eyes as a brother and as a man and say, Joe, you was out of line, bro. We'll have that conversation.
I got you.
As he would me.
I got you. And
you know, as he would me.
In the past, people have tried to run with the narrative that Liza just blew all of the money and used that as an excuse for why Joe didn't pay her. But I've always said it doesn't matter if she blew the money or not. That's not for Joe or anyone to determine why she shouldn't have that money when it's owed to her. In regards to the lawsuit between Joe and Liza, Wack reveals how that will be shown in the Big Pun series.
I don't know if, I keep hearing tell the truth, but I don't know what the that is or what that means. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not here to tell the Pun story. I'm here to facilitate and make sure the business that's needed, right, is behind the Pun story. The Pun story comes down to Liza, those Terror Squad members that with Pun and that's still here today, family, friends, execs, so on and so forth. They're gonna be the ones, dictating what the story is. Now, when it comes to Joe and the courtroom, this is as fair as I can be. You got Liza's story, Panda, and you got Joe's story. Right, Panda? What
and
I'm going to
Jelly
do...
Bean.
And Jelly Bean.
Right.
So, one thing that all three of those people have in common that I think is the equal medium, and that's fair to dictate, right, that part of the story, is I'm just going to go pull the court documents. All the minute orders, like what she accused of, Pun's defense, with the details and the proof that was put on the table, and all of that, and the judge is ruling. I'm going to let that dictate that part of the story. That way, it's no Liza lied, Pun lied, he kept this out, because when Liza came with the accusations, Pun had to come and defend himself, and he had to bring all his documents. The judge then, based upon what Pun said and Liza said, told Pun, Joe yo, bring proof that you did these things. And whatever happened is going to be in the minute orders of the civil case and the findings of it. I'm going to let that be the tale of that part of the story. I think that's fair, right?
I think that's fair too.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
got him.
because Joe was on live with Tony Sunshine just last year, and he said that Liza never got a dollar out of him, and that he never took anything. So, I mean, this is still the same narrative that is being pushed, you know, even as of recently. I'm talking, the case was back in 2016, so this is not even new information necessarily, right? But even just as last year, 2022, that's the same thing that he's maintaining. That's his argument.
Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, last year, Joe and Tony Sunshine were on IG Live, and that's when Joe still denies having done anything wrong in regards to Liza.
2 weeks later, his wife was suing me, right? Remember, she was suing me. By the way, she never got a dollar from me. Like, I never stole from her. I never did. I don't want to go down that road.
Wack also stated in the past that Joe said he gave Liza $1 million but couldn't come up with any sort of proof of him doing so.
If you go get the paperwork, the civil work, he had said that he gave her $1 million already, right? That she they gave her $1 million already. So the judge said, all right, well, show us where you gave her the $1 million. Couldn't show it.
So y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Do you guys agree with Wack that there's no justification? How do you think the talk between Joe and Wack is gonna go? Put your thoughts down in the comments and make sure you like and subscribe and stay connected with Panda Chop News. Peace.